Chapter 14. The Singing Lake. In a quaint village nestled between rolling hills and swaying fields, there lived a young boy named Oliver. Oliver had an insatiable curiosity and a heart filled with wonder. He loved to listen to the stories told by the village elders, especially one particular tale that had captured his imagination, the legend of the Singing Lake. According to the legend, there existed a hidden lake deep within the heart of the enchanted forest. This lake was said to possess a magical quality that allowed it to sing the most beautiful melodies at the break of dawn. The villagers spoke of it in hushed tones, and no one had ever ventured far enough into the forest to discover the lake's secret. Oliver, however, was determined to find the singing lake. He yearned to hear the enchanting songs that were said to fill the air at dawn. Every night, he would lie in his bed, gazing at the stars through his window and imagining the melodies that awaited him. One bright morning, with a sense of determination burning in his heart, Oliver packed a small bag with food and water, tied his worn-out shoes, and set off on his quest to find the singing lake. His family and friends tried to dissuade him, warning him of the dangers that lurked in the depths of the forest, but Oliver was undeterred. He believed that the singing lake was calling out to him, and he couldn't ignore its enchanting melody. As Oliver ventured deeper into the forest, the tall trees seemed to whisper secrets to him, and the leaves rustled with anticipation. He followed a narrow path, the only indication that others had trod this way before him. The forest became denser, and the sunlight filtered through the thick canopy, casting dappled shadows on the ground. With each step, Oliver's excitement grew. He imagined the singing lake as a place of wonder where the water sparkled like diamonds and the songs filled his heart with joy. He had heard that the lake was guarded by mystical creatures, but he welcomed the adventure. As the day wore on, Oliver encountered his first challenge, a fast-flowing river blocking his path. He had no choice but to cross it to continue his journey. With great care, he fashioned a makeshift raft from nearby branches and used his hands to paddle to the other side. The forest welcomed him with open arms as he pressed on, but soon Oliver encountered a dense thicket of thorns and brambles. Undeterred, he took out a small knife from his bag and began to cut a path through the thicket, determined to reach the singing lake. After hours of struggle, Oliver emerged on the other side, scratched and tired but resolute. The forest seemed to reward his determination with shafts of golden sunlight that filtered through the trees, illuminating his path. As the day drew to a close, Oliver found himself in a part of the forest he had never seen before. The air was filled with a sense of mystery and anticipation. He knew that he was drawing closer to his destination. Night fell, and Oliver decided to rest under a giant oak tree. He lay on a bed of moss and stared at the starry sky. The stories he had heard about the singing lake filled his dreams, and he fell asleep with a smile on his face. At dawn, Oliver awoke to a sound that made his heart skip a beat. It was a melody, delicate and ethereal, like the softest whisper of the wind. The singing lake was near. With renewed vigor, Oliver set off in the direction of the melodic sound. The forest seemed to guide him, as if it too yearned for him to discover the hidden gem at its heart. Finally, after what felt like an eternity, Oliver stepped into a small clearing. Before him lay a sight that took his breath away. The singing lake shimmered like a mirror, reflecting the colors of the dawn. It was surrounded by vibrant flowers and tall, slender reeds that seemed to sway in time with the lake's song. But what truly captivated Oliver were the creatures that called the lake home. Elegant swans glided across the water, their feathers as white as snow. Colorful birds perched on the reeds, their songs blending with the lake's melody. Fish leaped from the water, creating ripples that danced to the tune of the lake. Oliver couldn't contain his excitement. He had found the singing lake, and it was even more beautiful than he had imagined. He sat by the water's edge, his heart filled with joy, and listened as the lake's song filled the air. As the sun rose higher in the sky, the melody of the singing lake grew more enchanting. Oliver felt as if the lake were singing just for him, a reward for his determination and curiosity. But as the hours passed, Oliver realized that he faced a new challenge. He had to find his way back home before nightfall. The forest was vast, and he had journeyed deep into its heart. He couldn't afford to get lost. Reluctantly, Oliver said goodbye to the singing lake, promising to return someday. With the lake's melody still ringing in his ears, he retraced his steps, using the sun's position in the sky as his guide. The journey back was just as challenging as the journey in, but Oliver's determination carried him through. He crossed the thorny thicket, paddled across the river, and pushed through the dense forest until he finally emerged near the village. The sun had set, and the stars twinkled overhead as Oliver made his way back home. He was tired and covered in scratches, but his heart was full. He had discovered the singing lake, and its enchanting melodies would stay with him forever. When Oliver returned to the village, he shared his incredible adventure with the villagers. They listened in awe as he described the beauty of the singing lake and the enchanting melodies that filled the air. From that day on, the legend of the singing lake became a cherished tale in the village. The villagers would often gather by the fireside, and Oliver would recount his journey, bringing the magic of the forest and the beauty of the lake to life through his words. And so, in the quaint village nestled between rolling hills and swaying fields, Oliver's story became a reminder that curiosity and determination could lead to the most wondrous discoveries, and that the melodies of the heart could be found in the most unexpected places. I do hope that you enjoyed that story. If you are enjoying these stories, then please consider purchasing either the softcover or hardcover version of the book. It is a beautifully illustrated book and will undoubtedly bless your family for years to come. And please continue to watch and listen to the many new stories I will be sharing with you on this channel. And so for now, be blessed and be well.